Hello, I'm Luis Ugalde. I'm doing my speech 3 and speech 4 for the class speech 13-15. These are my audience members, and these are my note cards. I'll stop shortly. One of my uncles had osteosarcoma, which is a type of cancer that affects the bones. He battled it for a couple of years. He had continuous tumors on his knees. Some of them were removed, but eventually they had to amputate one of his legs. But a couple of months later, they told him that he had metastasized, and he died a short while after. It's kind of scary that this type of aggressive cancers, such as osteosarcoma, can come out of nowhere and really affect your life. So I'll be going over the history, the prognosis, and the future that medicine can hopefully help people out and give them a better chance to fight this type of cancer. So I'll be starting with the history. So in 1805, the French surgeon named Alexius Boyer was the one that kind of came up with the name osteosarcoma, as he had seen that some patients had tumors on their bones. And prior to 1970, there wasn't really any kind of treatment. It was kind of like if you had this type of cancer, you were pretty much dead in the next year. After 1970, chemotherapy became more available and used, but still patients with this type of cancer only lived about 2 years. Another fact that I got from the Bone Cancer Research Trust, which I accessed on March 25th, 2023, it is that they actually found a toe from a human ancestor dated to 1.7 million years ago, and you can actually see that they have a tumor, and they believe that it's osteosarcoma, which is pretty interesting if you think about it, because we didn't really know anything until 1805, but it has been affecting us since many years ago. So that's it for the history. Next, I'll be talking about the prognosis. For the prognosis, I got my information from the American Cancer Society website, which I accessed on March 25th, 2023. Some of the facts that I found was that most of the there's about 1,000 cases reported in the U.S. and it mostly affects people in the ages between 10 and 30. About half of those cases are on teens, and while there's not really any like test or anything that can early detect this type of cancer, most of them are found pretty in the early stages, so people can receive treatment. And usually the way that they're diagnosed is like if your doctor notices that you have a lump or some type of abnormality in one of your bones, they'll run some type of imaging, that is an MRI or a CT scan or CAT scan. That is followed by a biopsy, which is sent to a pathologist, and they'll look at it, and based on the cellular structure, they can determine in what kind of stage you are. And some more information that I got from the American Cancer Society website is that they go on this 5-year relative survival rate. If it's in one location, you have about a 76% chance of surviving in this 5 years. If it has spread to more of a regional area, or if it's on your bone and it kind of spreads to like the tissue around it, you have a 60%. And if it spreads to throughout your body, you have about a 24% survival. And as for treatment, most of the treatment that it can do is chemotherapy, removing the tumor. But then if it starts to, it can, with cancer, it can tumors can grow back. So it's kind of removing the tumor, and then you go through chemotherapy or radiation treatment or radiation therapy, which is one of the kind of newer treatments that they're offering. So that's it for my for the prognosis. Next we'll speak a little bit about the newer treatments. There's actually not a lot of newer treatments that they have come up with. Most of them are the radiation therapy, but with the radiation therapy, they have to be in very small doses, as they can affect the tissue around the tumor, and you don't really want to you don't really want to kill the good tissue. You want to kill the tumor. Some of those are the intense molecular radiation therapy, proton beam therapy, and carbon ions. Those are the ones that they're kind of looking into, but they're still in trial. So today we talked about osteosarcoma. We went over the history, the prognosis, and the newer treatments. And it kind of shows that we can have a healthy life, but we can end up with something like cancer, and it can really change your life. And if you're willing to donate, the American Cancer Society has you can donate in their website, as well as the Bone Cancer Research Treatment Trust. Those are two places that they do research, and they try to come up on ways to fight this type of cancer. Fellow TJC students, parents, professors, and other guests, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you somebody that I look very up to. He has been to Navy SEAL training, Army Ranger School, and Air Force Tactical Air Control training. He's the only person to have ever completed those 3 schools. He's also ran more than 60 ultramarathons and ultra triathlons, and he's the author of the books Can't Hurt Me and Never Finish. I'll give a round of applause to Mr. David Goggins. These are my audience members. Thank you.